picking up the pieces?
No, you didn't do that badly, David.
Well, what does it say on my file this time? Emotionally unstable?
An excess of subjectivity, I believe they called it.
Oh, yeah, I like that. What's it mean when it's at home?
You get too involved. You care.
I care. Yeah. So, what now?
You know perfectly well.
I don't. I want a job. I want to know what my job is, my real job.
I see. No one's told you. Well, you're back where you were, David. You are entitled to some leave.
I'd rather have a job.
Well, I'm afraid there's nothing worthy of your talents just at present. Unless... well, there is a man called James Palliser you might keep an eye on, but he does mix in rather exclusive circles. Winchester, Cambridge, you know, top civil servant, all that.
I'd better buy a bowler. What's he done?
Nothing yet. We're rather more concerned about what he may do.
What may he do?
Defect. As you see, his speciality is money.
Yeah, what's he doing, working for the government?
He's got more of his own than he can spend. He also has a profound knowledge of our economy. That's why he's compiling the EEC report. He's the one man who knows everything that's in it.
And you say he's going to defect?
Yes.
Where to?
Poland, probably. Certainly the Eastern Bloc.
Yeah, why should he do that? I mean, it's not money. Obviously not politics.
Oh, no, it isn't.
Not love.
Well, I suppose you could call it that.
The fella?
Yeah.
Who happens to have gone to Warsaw and won't be coming back?
You're very well informed.
Why not? They're always doing it, aren't they? Trouble is, it usually works.
Unless we move in first.
Right, when do I pick him up?
Oh, he's an important man with important friends. Until we get permission, all you do is watch.
Oh, yeah. This bird.
Yes. Mrs. Morris. She's a widow. Her father went to school with Palliser.
Anything else known?
Nothing directly. You might read that later. Now, Palliser is going to the Polish Trade Fair tomorrow. He'll take Mrs. Morris with him. You better go along and keep an eye on them.
What's my cover?
Security liaison.
Well, don't you think that might make them just a little suspicious?
Oh, we'd like that. Use your own name. It could precipitate action.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm paid for.
And Palliser is in a red fire.
Yes, I did notice that.
But we don't want him killed unless it's absolutely necessary.
This Palliser is such an important defector. He's going to have a minder, isn't he? Now, if I'm blown, one of us is likely to get killed. So I'm not hanging about waiting for authorization from Mr. Palliser's important friends. Now, you will remember I did tell you that, won't you, sir? Excuse me. That's him. Trent.
Are you sure of him?
Yes, I'm quite sure of him. Lonely can smell a crook the way you and I can smell a curry. Besides, this one, picked up last year. Unlawful possession of firearms.
That sounds more promising. We now have authorization for Palliser. You're to pick him up tomorrow.
What about the lad?
Well, if you can get him, he may have some useful things to tell us. The boy is expendable. Palliser is not. Place the boy yet?
No, it shouldn't be difficult. He goes to Palliser's every day. Lonely will follow him home.
You'd better be careful. So would you.
Yeah.
Right, pick him up tomorrow then.
Time and place.
Up to you. Just be discreet, that's all I ask.
Sir.
MCF to control. Over. It's me. I got a message for you, Mr. Callan.
Perhaps you'd better.
Yes.
I got him, Mr. Callan. He didn't have to give me a time, though. He drives like a raving maniac. He's at flat 3, Elm House, Ealing.
Good lad. Stay with him.
Yeah, but, I mean, what, somebody wants a cab?
Well, you lift your bonnet and you make as though you had an accident, don't you?
But suppose he towed me away.
Suppose I come over there and belt you. Stay with him.
Very well, Mr. Callan. Mr. Callan?
What?
Do you remember that big Polisher at the exhibition? Geezer that laughed all the time.
What about him?
He's just gone in the flats.
Better send Carter.
Yeah, Lonely. Stay there. Mr. Carter will be with you soon.
We have a bug in Palliser's house and his flat. It seems he's due to leave for Poland at 4. Naturally, we will prevent this. Equally naturally, we'll do all in our power to protect Palliser. No, Liz, delete that sentence. Substitute, Equally naturally, we'll ensure that no harm comes to Palliser. Friends in high places are a pest. You'll delete that too, Liz. This came this morning.
Yes, sir.
You read it?
It wasn't marked secret. Yes, sir, I read it.
Callum neglecting his duty for some woman or other. Well, is it true?
How could I possibly know, sir?
Because you like him, Liz. You trust each other. Well?
I'm sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Very well. How did it come?
By safe hand, sir, from the Home Office.
I didn't kill him. I didn't let Trent kill him. I brought him in, so what's wrong with that?
I don't think your mind was on your work.
Oh, come on. With a tearaway like Trent around, you must be joking.
You spent the greater part of last night with Mrs. Morris.
I did what I was ordered to do.
I didn't order this. Well?
Who the hell wrote that?
Don't know yet. Is it true?
I did what you told me.
Is it true?
Yes, it's true. Except that bit about neglecting my work. I did not neglect my work.
But you will if this goes on. Unless you're thinking of leaving us.
I was thinking of it, yes.
If you try, I shall take reprisals against you. And Mrs. Morris. I hope you believe me, dear.
Oh, yeah, I believe you.
Good. Then find out who sent that letter.
Where was it delivered?
Home Office. Here's the envelope.
Palliser, isn't it? I mean, it's just bloody well got to be Palliser.
Go and find out.
Well, you go and bloody well find out. You got him, you ask him.
At this moment, he refuses to say a word.
Then put Snell onto him. No, I'm sorry. You don't have to answer that. He's got friends in high places, which the bloody hell I had.
I want to know who sent that letter. I want to know who's not to the kind of work you do, and I want to know how they found out.
Yes, sir.
And stay away from Mrs. Morris. That is an order, Callum.
Stop it!
Your Home Office?
You are Mr. Komorowski?
Dear friend, I'm delighted to meet you.
You alone?
Do you by any chance think you've come to arrest me?
I never arrest people.
You're here to protect me.
Protect?
Of course. Sir, I'm here to ask for political asylum.
It's out of the question. You've just set up an operation.
Which failed, I'm sure.
You did?
Of course it did. I've worked very hard to make sure it did.
You made it fail?
Of course. Consider, dear friend, who did I choose as Palliser's bodyguard? Not one of our men, and they really are very good. No. A brash young man whose only ability is to shoot straight. Is that really a fair opponent for you, Mr. Callum?
Why didn't you just come over to us then?
Friend, I'm not alone here.
Trade mission?
Exactly. There's been a little suspicion of me lately. They watch me very closely.
They're not watching you today?
Dear friend, why should they? Today my reputation is a fact. They're now quite sure that I'm trustworthy. Shall we go? Might be a little embarrassing if my colleagues were to return and find me with you.
Who did? By the way, Mr. Palliser has a friend.
Ulick?
Yes. Is he still in Warsaw?
Dear friend, I regret to have to tell you. He died under interrogation.
You're a very uncommunicative man, Mr. Palliser.
Forgive me. I find that I have singularly little to talk to you about.
You could be facing a very serious charge.
I hardly think so. My resignation could cover it.
An attempted defection?
Oh, come now. I did perhaps talk to certain persons whom you told me were spies. That was indiscreet, I admit. But defection, you would find it very hard to prove that.
You spent last night in Trent's flat.
What, my dear fellow, I quite often spend the night in the flats of handsome boys. I'm becoming quite notorious for it. That is why I shall resign.
Do you remember Komorowski?
Komorowski, ah, yes, the Polish trade delegate.
And your controller? He's come over to us. You'll be seeing him presently.
He no doubt told you a great many lies in order to consolidate his position.
I'm quite sure about it. But he must tell us some truth, you know, if only to buy our protection.
And he told you I was going to defect.
No, I wasn't thinking of that. Told us about a boy called Ulek, the one who recorded a message for you in French.
Which you still have. I should like it back, please.
Certainly.
Delightful boy. But his English is atrocious.
You won't improve it now. He's dead.
You're lying.
My dear fellow, why should I? Komrovsky's people interrogated him, they went too far, and he died. It happens all the time. You would have made your journey for nothing. Tell me all about it, my dear fellow. You owe Ulek that much, at least.
Tak.
Will she be a problem to us?
No.
Seem very sure.
Yeah, I am. She doesn't like the work I do. She thinks I might come home dirty.